It is the main event of our Saturday triple header right here in your Philippines Football League season 2025-2026. FC Iloilo, the defending champions, playing their second game of the season already, actually. While there's Aguilas Umak, recently rebranded, relaunched, new management, and they are very ambitious, and they face this acid test. Good evening, and thank you for joining us alongside Camille Rodriguez. This is Claro Manzano, as we'll be bringing you the commentary for this evening. And welcome back, of course, to the commentary panel. First game for Aguilas, and they have a massive test already versus FC.
Hi, Clara. Thank you for welcoming me. Yes, it is a massive test. These are the defending champions. So, Aguilas Umak FC, although new, we look at their roster and they have a lot of experience in their players who have played in the UAAP, in different leagues, also nationally. So, that is an exciting matchup, Clara. And we have the likes of FC Iloilo, of course, who really have been consistent in terms of roster and also playing style, and really have new additions coming in. So this is also a bolstered FC Iloilo, Clara.
A bolstered Kaya FC Iloilo squad, and of course several coaches, several teams, pretty much everyone, they've been throwing everything that they have. Kaya, of course, are going for the 4-peat. And speaking of Kaya FC Iloilo, we'll talk about the challengers in a bit, because we will get into detail with this team. And who would have thought, right? They have so much continuity, and that's a big factor here on why this team remains so successful.
Yes, when you talk about success, it's not just the wins that you have, but also the philosophy. And Kaya FC Iloilo through the years have maintained who they are as a team, and it really has produced very successful results. Again, they are going for a 4-peat, which is pretty historic, Lara.
Despite of that, of course, there are some new names here and there, but they recruit PFL names who are already established. And one of them, Mike Ott, returning to the scene, but he did play also for in the PFL back in the day with United City, with Ceres Negros. Also played around Southeast Asia. As we take a look this time around at the goalkeeping stable, you could say, of KFC, the likes of Nathan Bata, Freddy Cortez. On that list, we also know there's Patrick Dato, but he's listed as not playing or not available today. But there are the usual names, and there's also a returning guy in Kinchira Daniels. It is his third stint by my count with Kaya, as we know. But of course, Kenny, a big boost to this team, and there will be the usual Eric Esso, who will be manning the midfield for them. I mean, perhaps people may be able to scout them, but KFC are familiar with that system, right? Like the back of their hand. A player to look out for, Cam, none other than Jan Meliza, one of the many mainstays.
Yes, he is one of those many mainstays who has been consistent in his firepower, in his attacking prowess, and really his reliability as a person. He is also a product of the FEU system, which is very much known to produce talent like him. So FC Iloilo will be leaning into the likes of Melissa for this.
And speaking of Jan Meliza and FEU, sabihin natin, may surprise na lang who's the player to look out for later with Aguilas Umak FC. But we are going to jump ship to them in a bit and just somewhat give an introduction, right? They did have some media events earlier in the preseason, so no surprise, of course, with these players. Everyone got to do their homework. Also, one of them is Diego Aspiras pictured also, but the only holdovers pretty much are the Talarok brothers, and then there's also the likes of Anton Ganas, but he is listed as not available. So those three Pinoys are just the players remaining. New coach, new management, new squad, new everything. But let's see, of course, how they'll be able to find the groove in the PFL. Yes, they're all familiar names pretty much, but it's different, of course, when the lights are on here and everyone's at the stadium for a big game.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a good test for them and a good opportunity to show what they've been practicing. Because usually when you have a new squad, what's important is how you mesh well together. So we talk about experienced players, but it's also about how these players work with each other. So I'm pretty excited to see how they will show out. It is their first game of the league. It's a good test for them, a good opportunity. So really excited for this one.
Although they did get to play friendlies, right? You're obviously aware of this, Cam, with yourself being a player. iba pa rin pag official game as compared to a friendly where things are a little bit relaxed, right? Where I'm not saying it's good to lose, but in this situation, the coaches make more calculated risks here and there. But let's get on with players to look out for. No points for guessing. When we gave a hint earlier, it's none other than Nano Amita. So Amita's facing one of his former teams, right? Right before playing for Aguilas, he was with One Taguig. He was also with Kaya. He won the Copa with Kaya while playing against Aguilas. So he's going to be facing not just his former team again, which he knows very well, where they won not just the Copa but PFL. Some of his good old teammates from college.
Yes, absolutely. And he also is the one wearing the armband. So there's an added layer of responsibility and leadership in his role today. So he's not just a player, but also the team captain. And I think that is an honor that he will be playing and pouring into his game as well, Claro. And of course, when we talk about FEU and talent, if Kaya has the likes of Melissa, Aguilas Umak also has the likes of Amita, who is a successful product of the FEU program.
Some of the local boys, of course, who've been able to make it big on the football stage. But with that, again, we're talking about challengers. Coach Yu Hoshide, kilala na dito sa Pilipinas when it comes to the footballing scene. But we did mention again, different coaches, different teams. They throw everything at Coach Yu and Kaya. Not literally, but figuratively. And there's a new challenger in Coach Jörg Steinbrunner, a German coach who's got plenty of experience. If we name the countries, of course, ang dami. Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, and he's a former German U21 national team player. And he is preaching that he brings in that modern style of play. So that's going to be the challengers right here for Kaya FC Iloilo. And it could go well, it could go bad if you're in the perspective of Aguilas, because who really wants to play the defending champions right away, right? Normally you'd see fear amongst teams. So, all to play for, yeah, looks tough.
Yeah, it is tough, and it's also, I think, a good opportunity because they get to test themselves against the best. Technically one of the best in the league already. So all the games after this, Lara, would be with the learnings that they have from this game kaagad. Kaya nakaka-excite makita kung paano sila tatapat sa Kaya FC Iloilo. Sabi mo nga, hindi lang experience yung players, but experience din yung head coach nila. So really it is a test of, I think, teamwork, togetherness at this point, and just, I think, confidence as well. Because when you are going up against a defending champion, you have to come out strong. You have to try your best to still retain that style of play as a team and not necessarily fall back to just defending, because it's different when you're just defending and trying to manage. It is a fine balance between both of managing that. Of course, Kaya FC is a good team to watch, and you do need to defend them, but it's also making the most out of the opportunities that you will have, because again, 90 minutes, Clara, a football game, so many things can happen. Kaya let's see how the first half will pan out for this.
Let's see, of course, because if a team can implement their system against a high caliber squad, then that's going to be a big sign, of course, of what's to come for them, because we preach it in this way because alam natin naman kaya yung barometer ng Philippines Football League, as they're oftentimes the representatives, and still are the representatives of the Philippines or the PFL in the AFC competitions, which we'll talk about also over the course of this game. But yung mga players to look out for, right? Nano Amita, 4 goals, 2 assists last season. While with One Taguig, there is Jan Melisa, 6 goals and 2 assists. So he's been able to come up big. Not essentially the highest contributor, but one thing we've noticed, nagko-contribute si Melisa pag big game.
He is a player to watch and rise. And of course, another player to watch here is the MVP Shuto Komaki. He is one of the mainstays right now of Kaya FC Iloilo, and he is definitely a player to watch if you are Aguilas Umak FC. And when we talk about earlier the opportunity for Aguilas Umak FC against this game, I believe that Kaya FC Iloilo also has an immense opportunity, because usually when you are on the top, a lot of teams are gonna try and challenge you and knock you down, because that's just the nature of the sport. So the opportunity for Kaya FC Iloilo here is to really come out strong, come out confident, and really establish their style of play. Because as much as this is the same team, same philosophy, we do have new additions that add into the mix for Kaya FC Iloilo.
And with Shuto Komaki, right, winning the MVP or the Golden Ball Award in the last season, I think what's going to be more difficult now is that he's going to have a target on his back because all teams would like to lock him down, and it's a lot different, right? When you're the hunter now, I like to think they're going opponents, such as the Aguilas, will try to hunt down a top caliber player like Shuto Komaki.
Yes, usually when you come into these games, there is a lot of research and players, studying the players entering this match, and I'm sure that Aguilas, Umak FC, and Kaya FC Iloilo also have identified these with each other.
Shuto Komaki was actually the top player when it comes to playmaking in the last season with 7 assists. But let's remember, Kaya did get their engines running again with a 12-0 win versus Army. And for Aguilas, it's only now that they're going to taste action here in their first game of the season. We'll take it to the pitch in tune to the Philippines Football League anthem. Back here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, it is FC Iloilo and Aguilas Umak FC. Let's head on to our match officials. Si Meliton Pelayo ay ang referee natin ngayong gabi. Sila Jose Magusara, Romario de la Cruz ay ang ating assistant referees o linesman. Ang fourth official ay si Crispel Cayabyab. Ang referee assessor ay si Ravelo Saluria. And Miss Cristina Ramos is our match commissioner. And the players we highlighted, to be exact, mga team captains natin ngayon.
Yeah, sakto pala yung build up because it is a matchup between opponents. I think they're both also sporting the number 10, Claro.
That's right, so sakto nga talaga. And one thing also, actually, although he is on the bench, Paulo Bugas is playing against his former team also. So all to play for, moments away from kickoff, and with KFC, here's the 4-1-4-1 formation of theirs.
Yeah, so we have Cortez in between the sticks, and then also Casambre Yamazaki holding the defense along with Yano Menzi, and then we have Ott, Eso Zambrano in the middle, Komaki and Melissa on the wings, and then Daniel with the firepower on top.
And Kenny Daniels again back in the fray. And let's head on to Aguilas Umak FC of Coach York. It's a 3-4-3. They are implementing an aggressive formation. First game, facing the barometer of the PFL.
Yes, with 3-4-3 formation, that means that the focus would be on attacking and versatility between the players. And we have Shiraoka on the defense, on the goalkeeping, Clarino, Amarilla, Bongolan, Palpal, Latok for the defense, Hancock and Tomoki in the middle, Amita on top, connecting with Kom, Talarok, and Yamamoto.
There you go. We got to take a look at the subs right here. Homegrown keepers, actually. Still quite young are the sub keepers. Nathan Bata for Kaya, Rico or Iko Mangamong for Aguilas Umak. And this one off, Kaya FC in yellow and white. And Aguilas Umak FC in their red and blue kits. Just like that, of course. This one going out of play. And it will be Shiraoka who will take this one.
Yeah, so we see them. It looks like Shiraoka will be going long.
You know, the thing with Shiraoka is I did see Kenji Nishoka having a chat with him. So, I mean, Nishoka, of course, being Filipino-Japanese, Shiraoka, similarly. Small world, of course. I'm saying this because Kenji Nishoka plays for Manila Digger. So those two guys were teammates, of course, back in their schooling days. Ang daming ganun talaga. Pero hanggang ngayon, nakakaaliw. A small world.
Nakakaaliw talaga siya kasi makita mo na naglalaro sila as competitors pero magkakaibigan sila. So that just, I think, shows a little bit about the nature of football, that it is a beautiful sport that connects even after all.
It's Aguilas now, trying to get through the right. Zambrano receives it after getting the stop. Steps on the brakes. This still needs getting used to with Nano Amita wearing a different uniform. It took some time to get used to it, of course, when he transferred to Wantagig.
Right.
Diano, dito naman kay Casambre. Interesting, Cam. Kaishu Yamazaki said goodbye to Kai FC. Tapos bigla bumalik. They gave him a welcome back because he was initially going to play elsewhere, it seems, and that's what we saw on the social media pages of Kaya.
Yeah, and then now that he's back, he is also playing a different role now. He's anchoring the defense because in the previous editions of the league, he is usually playing in the midfield. So it is a refreshing sight, and it is a role that he seems to embrace, and he, is together with Casambre, a teammate that he also plays with. So more or less, it should be an opportunity for him to learn and for him to really make the most out of this new position in the team.
Here comes Nano Amita waiting for numbers. Nano versus Maikot. Eric Esso charged with the foul.
Yes, he did come from behind, and that is not allowed in football. Contact is allowed. Football is a very contact sport, but it is within reason. So in this instance, it was just a little bit too much for our referee, Meliton Pelayo.
Kaya sabi niya, bawal yan.
He from behind, claro.
That's a way to explain it. Ayun, okay. I'm learning also, as you know. This will be a free kick in the midfield. Alanganin to for a shot on target, but you never know. What do you think?
There are two options here for Aguilas Umak. He could, if it is a free kick specialist, he could go in front, but I think his best bet would be to make the most out of this play with his teammates.
They take it, but wide here of the goal of Freddy Cortez. Freddy Cortez was actually a mid-season addition dito sa Kaya in that last PFL edition. Again, as we've said, he did rack up 3 clean sheets. And Cortez getting the starting nod. Nathan Bata on the bench. And Patrick Dato is listed as not playing. Let's recall again, Dato missed out of the second half of the season due to an ACL injury. So I'd like to think Kaya are being careful with him. Of course, no joke to get an ACL.
Yes, absolutely. It is a long injury, and the recovery needs to be very taken care of, especially because it's ACL. It's an injury that you wouldn't want to wish on your worst enemy. But I'm happy to know that Dato is also recovering pretty well. So looking forward to seeing him back on the pitch with his team.
Absolutely, as Diano gets it from Casampre. Melisa. Pero nasa traffic si Diano. Tomoki was trying to make an impact. Jack Bongolan just got left behind there. He's starting at left back. Not too many opportunities for Bongolan because he is in an absolutely stacked Manila Digger squad last time around. But there's a chance for him now here with Aguilas.
Yes, and when you're a young player like him, you take these opportunities and make sure that you come out and be strong, and that's what I do wish for him to have in this season. It's a fresh start for him too.
This one rolling out of play.
What's standing out for me so far, Clara, in the first 5 minutes of the match is that every ball that Kaya has and Kaya loses, they're there. So just that immediate urgency for Kaya to always be on the ball and get the ball back, I think is what's standing out. And those split-second moments do matter, and it is one of the reasons why they have this opportunity on goal as well.
And it was tipped over well by Shiraoka. The standards are high today with goalkeeper performances because in the second game, Rami Jaridi put up a clinic. Here's a look.
Yeah, we see here Daniels being smart, passing it to Menzi. Menzi just chipping the ball for the far end, and Shiraoka was there to intercept that pass.
You got the stop, but they have to deal with this corner kick. Whipped inside the outswinger to the near post. It's a foot race now to get it. And they knock it to Cortez. Freddy ups to boot it long, but it's to his counterpart. What runs through the head of a goalkeeper when they boot it long pero binigay na lang sa kabilang goalkeeper? I know you're not a goalkeeper, but
I was gonna say I wish I knew.
I was going to ask, baka may alam ka with your teammates?
I think just in that instance, he might be just seeing that opportunity to find forwards who might be on that run to immediately shift that point of attack. So that is an opportunity. It was an option that he, tried, but inevitably it reached the hands of the other goalkeeper.
It's in the middle now. Eso in tight space, got it to Diano. Mike Ott. It's a foot race now. Kenny bringing it up. Daniels shifting well. We saw a body fall in Melisa. The defensive header from Palpalatok. Palpalatok did well actually with Maharlika in the last season. And now he's jumped shipped, of course, to Aguilas. Plenty of movement. You sound like a broken record actually, just talking about all the changes here and there. That's why it's an entertaining season as this shot is saved by Cortez. Another one here though, couldn't get to it. And cleared off, Diano. And I was about to say that was a good ball to Melisa. And Nahuel Amaricha is there. So that is actually Nahuel Amaria, as we would pronounce. We clarified with team management, with Argentine Spanish, with that language, it's Amaricha.
Amaricha. Thank you for that. Yeah, it is important to pronounce their names well, especially our foreign talent here in the PFL. And it's very enriching, Clara, to see really the growth of this league, that we have foreign talent coming in, competing, trying to elevate the game, and that's always the goal.
And when you mention elevating the game, because these foreign players, of course, are trained abroad, so pinupush nila yung mga local Pinoy, di ba?
Yeah, and I would like to think also our local, talent are also pushing them, because it's a whole mix of different styles of play, and it's all just learning against each other at this point. But in matches like this, and especially when you go higher and higher in the level, it's about who can play the better football.
I would like to think madalas yung mga welcome na mga Pinoy, or the welcome of Filipinos to foreigners. A bit of the physical hello, a bump over here in the middle of the field.
Oo naman.
Oftentimes a foul. So ganun ka pala when you play against foreign players.
Kailangan mo pakita yung presence mo talaga, di ka magpapatalo. Yun talaga yung Pinoy Lalaban ka talaga.
There was some confidence moving up, but the Aguilas lost it. Quite a fall here.
Still on the ground. There, Kuom. I think it was from that earlier challenge by Eso.
Comb that man playing up front pretty much. I thought he was going to give us a Chinese getup from the get-go. Like that. Showing he's okay. Donning the 79 jersey.
Yeah, let's watch it again. Oh, I think that was a fair challenge by Eso. There is a little bit, there might have been a little bit of contact, but it was all ball. And when you do challenge and get the ball, the play still goes on.
We saw Coach Yu Hoshide for a moment.
Coach Yu Hoshide, 15 years in the Philippine space, from being a player and of course now a successful coach with Kaya FC Iloilo men's and also the women's. He's also my coach.
We don't try to make Coach Yu feel old, but he was one of those established Japanese players while we would watch the local games growing up. So of course, Coach Yu Hoshide and his crew have mastered the PFL, but it's a new challenge again, new season.
Always, always. And when you are a coach of a champion team like this, the challenge for you is really how do you make sure that the team stays competitive, because you really can't rest your laurels and you can't, you know, just expect to win, because every team will want to challenge you. And we can see it here now, right? We have seen opportunities by Aguilas Umak. They took that opportunity earlier on where there was a cross against and forcing Cortez to save, but inevitably there wasn't anyone to pick it up.
You just saw a shot of Coach Jorg again of Aguilas, their German coach. You could see the intent with the ball in those bursts with possession, but mainly the way of Kaya right now at the moment. That's Coach Jorg Steinbrunner. This is his welcome to the PFL moment.
Yeah, we're talking about the teams, the players having a welcome, but I think coaches also have a welcome into the league. It's, I think, a different opportunity, different set of challenges and opportunities every league you face.
Marco Casambre playing it over the top. Interesting though, it's his fullback and Mardiano getting it. Diano, low cross. Cleared off by the back line. Diano keeping it there. Tomoki. They send it to the side now. Stopping and evading the danger.
Yeah, good piece of play there from Casambre, linking to his teammate Diano. Diano trying to find the opposite player in his wingers. Inevitably losing it, but you could try and see, you could start to see the intent of Kaya FC.
This one got loose. Amita. And Melissa poked it away from him. Jabangolan just taking his time.
He is facing forward, trying to decide what's the best option here. Usually when you take these throw-ins, you would have to make a decision. Do you go and recycle the ball, meaning you pass it to your defenders and then you try and go the other way, or do you try and string a piece of attack from that throw-in?
Clarino gets this one back. So Clarino is the partner of Nawala Maricha playing in defense. Shiraoka dito naman, a former U18 player for Japan. When you refer to the goalkeeper of Aguilas. Nano played it wide. A flag up here though. Looks like an offside call.
Yeah, we have Talarok there. One half of the Talarok brothers here. Cart Talarok wearing the number 13. And it's really good to see, you know, brothers, siblings who play in the same team, and we have different sets of siblings here and there, but the Talarok brothers also have a history of playing in the PFL and really competing against foreign and local talent alike.
A good number of sets of brothers again. Minsan nakakaingit. Not everyone gets to do that, of course, with their brothers.
Yes.
Audi Menzi to the left here. Komaki. A bit silent to start this game, but we know it's the system that Kai really trusts. But that's where he excels, of course. And Kaishu, maybe familiar territory there, moving up, becoming a playmaking center back.
He was trying to look for that forward pass. And I think just the timing to get to that ball just shows, you know, his familiarity with the midfield space, but also now as a center back.
And speaking of this move of Kaishu Yamazaki, baka hanggang ngayon nagagulat yung mga tao. Di ba midfielder siya, tapos naging defender cam? We were talking about it. He actually has experience also playing in that role, especially when he was playing in the S League or the Singaporean League. But with this now, when they're not defending effectively, parang nagiging additional midfielder siya.
Tama. And that's basically what you'd want as a coach, especially that, you know, you have players who play their role well, but also get to adapt and be versatile in different moments of the game. And I think that is the value and the experience that Kaishu brings to the Kaya FC team right now.
And speaking of Shuto Komaki, right, with us mentioning he's now being hunted since he's the Golden Ball winner. And Brian Papalatok putting the clamps on him.
Yeah, you have to. You have to be patient. Kumaki is a tricky player, good on his feet. So as a defender, you would have to be patient and not hindi ka pwedeng kumagat sa mga fake niya.
Hancock put his body on the line, and with that height, that was quite a sprint from him. His play is stopped. Man is down for the Aguilas, and it is Combe again. It's a tough day at the office. Ganon din kanina. There's this player, Victor Luis of Cebu, just kept hitting the ground a number of times.
Yeah. I think it is a good balance as a player. When do you ride those challenges and when do you kind of keep going? Because sometimes if you go and ride these fouls as we see here, there's some contact there, but I think inevitably that was a clean challenge by Yamazaki. So it makes me wonder the amount of hit that Coam receives because we see him on the ground right now.
With that again, play will resume in a bit.
So he is pointing to his mouth a little bit. And while there was contact earlier with Yamazaki, I don't think I've seen the hit to the mouth. But again, taking precautionary methods because it is important to protect the head. Lalo na kung yung tama na sa ulo, kailangan maingat tayo dito.
There's that concussion protocol, as we are familiar with, of course, where they prioritize these. It's no joke to get hit in the head.
Yeah, we have seen many players, too many players get into head injuries. So it's really important to follow protocol.
Essentially, they're saying safety first. Combe on his way out of the pitch. No players warming up for precaution here with Aguilas Umak.
Yeah, so far in the first 17 minutes of action, we have seen the possession mainly being with Kaya FC, but there have been moments by Aguilas Umak where they tried to capitalize on the opportunities they've had. Some have been half chances, meaning munti ka na, pwede sana maging buo, but they would need to, I guess, have more numbers and be more on the ball to be able to, you know, get one from and pull one back from Kaya FC.
A drop ball here to continue. David Combe is on the side and is expected to re-enter the pitch. The 29-year-old from Cameroon. Diano now. His side not really loaded. Melisa trying to come up with plays with Eric Kesso. Some touches from Maicon outside of the box. They wanted to persist down the right, but they were not on the same page.
Yeah, just a tad bit of miscommunication there. They were trying to find the width, which KFC usually does. So it might just need, you know, that happens in games where you have moments where you miscommunicate. You think your teammate is going for that run, but inevitably it doesn't happen. But that's okay. Let's see how they learn from that moment.
Tanong ko, magagalit pa si Coach Yoshide doon because he's just standing still in the technical area. Nothing. Parang walang nangyari. It's like nothing happened here.
Yeah, when you are a caliber of coach like Coach Yoshida, you would be familiar with moments like this. So maybe that was a moment that, you know, next one na lang. Andun yung intent, pero hindi naging successful. Okay lang. Susunod na lang ulit.
Tried to be cheeky there. This one's still in. There is the slide. And that's the defender, Kaishu Yamazaki, in action. I think he is saying that it's not a corner kick and that it should be Kaya's ball. That's the first time I've seen him animated also.
Yeah.
I will say. Ito si Kaishu Yamazaki. But let's remember, Kaya have a big game on a Thursday. And the reason why that game will be on a weekday, because it's the AFC Champions League 2 group stage. They're going to play against Tampines Rovers of Singapore. So this game, a high-level match to warm up for that game on the continental stage.
Yeah, definitely a big game because it is for the Asian level, and of course, we're playing it here in Rizal Memorial.
It will be in New Clark City, actually.
For the correction, yes, here in our country. So, iba din pag naglalaro ka sa home turf mo. Kaya I can imagine the importance and the weight also of that game.
Chiro Daniels was getting involved with the build-up there.
I think in that moment, we see Komaki getting ready for that ball behind the defense. So maybe an opportunity for Zambrano to see him there because he is always on the run, Komaki
Shoot to Komaki. Kaishu. I just wanted to say that was the first bit of defending we saw from Yamazaki earlier. And the reason is because Kaya were on the attack versus Army, wherein they won 12-0. Chance again now. Bodies in the box calling for it, but this is skied back home. Maybe the nerves again here. Their first game altogether. Their first official game kasi friendlies lang previously.
Absolutely. I think it's also the gigil factor. Siyempre, pagka-attacker ka, tapos may opportunity kang na ganun, you really have to make a split-second decision. Are you going to lay it off to your teammate and find the best option, or are you gonna be brave and back yourself in that moment and take it? So we saw Kum be there. Inevitably, was that the right option? That was the option he chose.
Do you still get giggle when you're playing?
Oo naman. Minsan, yung giggle, you would need certain minutes in the game to shake it off. Sometimes you get stuck there, so it's a skill, being able to regulate that giggle and that emotion that comes with it.
It's the mental aspect of the game again, as we know, and as we say, Yamamoto knocked it back. Palpalatok, Kum. He is their striker, but is dropping down. Online, Kum is actually listed as essential midfielder. Maybe that's why he is dropping down. As they wanted to launch that cross again, but Palpalatok, of force as ever. But can he do that for the full 90? That could spell a difference in this game, I would like to think. Now it's with Cartalaro. They want to start some offense. Jack Bongolan. Bongolan did play for UP in the UAAP. He did bag a trophy there. A championship to be precise. As now it is with Shiraoka. Tomoki. You could say this is really that first bit in this game where it's really Aguilas dictating it. And we are 22 minutes in. They had to weather wave after wave from the defending champs.
And most of the attack from Aguilas Umak, we see it from the right side of the pitch. We have the likes of Kuom and Yamamoto being, that brave and cheeky presence on the side, trying to challenge and find vulnerabilities in the back line of Kaya FC.
They tried to play that one, but it was loose. So that is why it will be a Cortez goal kick. And Cortez, again, as we've said, did get 3 clean sheets last season for Kaya. But for Aguilas, again, new squad, pretty much. But for reference, their goalkeeper last season, Dini Watara, bagged 6 clean sheets. That's big shoes to fill.
Yeah, it is. And clean sheet always is very welcome and something you would aspire to. So kung yung mga attackers, goals ang gusto nila, pag keeper ka at defense line, mga clean sheets yung mga ina-aspire mo. And of course, a win on top of that.
Madalas yung clean sheet bonus, di ba?
Bonus
add to the win.
Correct.
Shiraoka. Much confidence here from him. You like that, of course. Quick one touch here from Kaya FC. Shiraoka was a little bit shaky. Do I run out or not? But Torino just cleared it off. You like that, of course. You see, as a goalkeeper, you see your defender doing that.
I think Daniels and Melissa, they're trying to link up, trying to break the defense of Aguilas Umak FC. And inevitably, they still maintain possession here with a throw-in.
Closing in the 25th minute already, alongside Cam Rodriguez. This is Clara Manzano. We are bringing the action on the PFL's Facebook and YouTube pages. With that
Daniels
stop,
there with an opportunity.
and because of that stop, may corner kick lang ang kaya ulit. Interesting camp. Tandaan nga natin, may bagong format tayo. Teams will play a double round robin. The top 6 teams will figure in a single round robin to determine the champion.
Oh wow, that is different.
A similar format, of course, to the K-League or the Korean League. As here's this diagonal ball, very routine for the keeper. But with that, actually, the bottom 5 teams, yung ranked 7 and below, will figure in a classification round. So there's still that opportunity to move up and down the standing. So it's not safe after round 2. But interesting, of course, to add to the PFL now.
Yeah, definitely. If you are a team, again, every game is important, but I think that weight adds up even more because you're not just going for the wins, but also ranking. You would want to be in the top 8 to compete for the title.
Nano, Tomoki, Jack Bongolan providing support also. Cardenano trying to figure this out. Hancock saying play it back to Nawel so they can reset. There's some passing in the midfield but couldn't get it forward, and they just succumb to the pressure of Kaya's well-drilled defense.
So we saw there Talarok trying to keep possession, and he is one of the players that has been showing a lot of intent for the ball, actually, Talarok. And his possession, I think, also begs for that because he is an attacker, and the opportunity for him is to go down the line, challenge the wing backs of Kaya, but also inevitably important to link up with your fellow midfielders and decide when is it the best to just keep the ball and just rotate, find possession.
Nearing the 30-minute mark already, Cam, do you see this going one way to Kaya or Aguilas, or halos parehas lang?
Yeah, I think at this point of the match, it's still pretty level in terms of chances. So far, both teams might have had 1 to 2 half chances, but no direct challenge yet towards any of the 2 keepers. But Kaya FC Iloilo has been maintaining a lot of the possession, but it's a matter of really linking up, being there.
Here's the chance now inside. Is there an angle? They lay it off. Just given away, you could say, or there was that miss hit from Eso.
Yeah, Eso there with a huge opportunity, being laid off the ball by Shuto Komaki. We could see Shuto all the way beating 3, 4, 5 defenders, and just a little bit unlucky there for Eso. I think just a little bit off balance, but yeah, he is motioning towards a skid, so it might be also the bounce of the ball, but good opportunity there. Just as I was saying that there's no clear chances yet.
Bigla meron. It's a foot race, and it is offside for Coom.
So far, I'm seeing certain tendencies from Coom, especially on the attack. It seems like he likes to go and have that foot race, trying to make like forward runs for balls given by his teammates.
Casambre resumes it at the back. A good evening to Finn McDaniel. He is catching this game overseas, now playing in Germany. Finn was the top-ranked Filipino goal scorer last season. But when you refer to the #1 scorer, of course, it was Sekou Cisse, one of the superheroes of Manila Digger. They are playing tomorrow, actually, Manila Digger. They will square off with Stallion Laguna.
Another exciting matchup, that one.
The opening game of that day for tomorrow will be Army versus Valenzuela PB Menjola. But a player down here, is it Clarino, from what I'm seeing at the distance? near the 30-minute mark already.
I think part as well of the equal matchups between both. It seems as though there have been moments where the game has been paused, and that affects the just the momentum and the flow of the game. Para siyang stop, pause, at mahirap nga kumuha ng momentum kung nagkakaroon tayo ng mga ganitong incidents sa match.
And especially if you're the attacking team, tapos bigla may pause or there's a stop all of a sudden, that does not help you, right?
Yes, it definitely doesn't. You would want it to be continuous. You'd want to build on momentum. As we saw earlier, Eso had a chance from a good run by Shuto. And just after that, there was a slight pause. And again, though, we have an opportunity. Kaya still with the ball.
Deep inside, the stop again.
I think that was stop moment by Shuto where he was able to turn maybe a 180 between three defenders. Showing his quality there, but again, ref is motioning for the medic. We have another player down. And we see medical help going to the player on the ground.
Mr. Shot, Chiraoka just having a breather. There he goes, Gino Clarino, who got into the way of that one. These players of Aguilas, their defenders have taken a number of hits, actually getting their body in front of the ball. As Freddy Cortez has a chat with Coach Yu. Again, this is big with Kaya using this high-level game. It's an intense one, which is what you want to have when you are going to play your AFC games.
Yes, and I think key for Kaya FC Iloilo at this moment of the game, 30th minute, 15 more minutes to go, and maybe a little more extra time, is really just the patience. Because being the more expected to be the more dominant team and is the more dominant team, they are expected to score, and that scoreboard pressure is real, and it's how to manage those moments. How do you stay patient? How do you keep the ball when you need to? How do you support your teammates when the moment is building up and the attack is forming? Those are all very important.
So that's what Kaya's trying to do now with build-up. But whenever you're a team on the attack, you could potentially face that opposition in the form of a counter-attack. We've seen Aguilas, of course, with some bursts of speed earlier. But they've been mainly trying to execute their system. But alam naman natin kan pag may counter, subukan mo, di ba?
Lalo na kung ikaw yung frontler, I think that has been Koom for the past few instances where he's really trying to make the most out of the counter-attack opportunities.
So here is a change. Charles Pickering is in, and out is Clarino. Sorry, it is Miggy Clarino. I've been saying Gino, I think, throughout the game. My apologies. There's the brothers.
Yeah, it's a whole Clarino plan.
I just wanted to say, I get times too where people call me by my brother's names, but not in sports, okay? Yung mga, swap lang yung mga nickname. But it's Miggy. My apologies for that.
It might be a serious injury because usually substitutions at this point of the match isn't as frequent. So let's see how Pickering shows up. He is also not new to the PFL. He used to play for Stallion FC.
That's right.
And a couple more, also a talent here, homegrown.
We need to double check, of course, where in the field is Pickering being utilized. We know he is a natural attacking player. Not essentially a like-for-like change. But we've seen Pickering play wingback a number of times, actually, with Stallion.
Yeah, and it's a slight mindset shift, being a wingback, meaning you're the one expected to attack, and when those moments come, you have to be there, but as a center back, you have to mark.
Here's the foot race now, cutting it back. Kenny shoots! Not denied by the keeper, but denied by the back line. Spectacular stuff there.
Similar moment, it feels like a like-for-like moment where you have Shuto Komaki on the run, ball on his feet, drawing his opponent, and then with a cutback to his teammate.
Kenny Daniels had space to shoot. But there was the stop. And it was by Jab Bongolan from what I saw.
Yeah, good opportunity there by Kenny.
I just wanted to point out also with Jab Bongolan, although he did get limited, minimal action actually with Manila Digger. He did make his PFL debut already playing for the youth national team setup back in the day when they were called the Ascos development team. Here it is intercepted by the keeper. Shiraoka definitely had that post covered.
Really
Distributing it, yes.
Really, the wingbacks of Aguilas Umak FC have been challenged, especially with the past two opportunities led by Shuto Komaki. You could see his pace there.
Tomoki played it wide, but it is offside once more. Number of offside calls against David Coom again. Hold on, we have a whistle. A hello, of course, to the likes of Carson Gutierrez and Pat Mercado. They're catching the game. Pati idol natin si John Lloyd Halike. Halike did play in the opener ng tong triple header actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Close fought 3-2 loss for Tuloy FC versus Maharlika.
Yeah, Halike, I remember covering one of his games and I think he had an opportunity on goal.
Oh, but this one too much here. It's an Aguilas player down. I believe that was too much contact on him.
And the ball is still playing. But still playing, Claro. But player on the ground still from Aguilas Umak FC on the corner.
I think that was Nawala Maricha. And that's why Hancock took the initiative to fill in the back. You gotta love it. Because you have a player like Shiraoka who has safe hands. But Nawel was on his feet and fell down in pain. That is his arm from the looks of it. But there was the fall already. They actually knocked down one of our mics. Actually felt that in our ear, the headset.
Yeah.
Not good here if Nawala Maricha is injured from this play because they already had to sub out Miggy Clarino. And Nana is expected, bringing his captain as the captain, right? Protecting his teammates, part of the job.
Yes, and captains are the only ones who are allowed to also question the referee. And you would be expected to question these moments because, again, what we could see from Amita is he's wondering why the play still goes on.
Then I will wonder also, Coach York getting a yellow for that.
Words must have been exchanged, Claro. Enough for referee Meliton Pelayo to warrant him a yellow card.
Coach York Steinbrenner not happy with that. That's for sure.
Again, it was a moment of physicality. Bodies clashed. Unfortunate that it panned out the way it did, which is near the mic, but naturally the play still keeps going because there was no whistle, and as players and as Kaya took that opportunity to just keep playing the ball, and inevitably ended up with an attack on goal too.
Thankfully Nawala Maricha is okay. Let's remember he's the former Argentinian U23 national team player. He was with Montague recently. So halos kasama pala sila ni Amita. They transferred over here to Aguilas. This one played back by Pickering. So with me mentioning, right, that Pickering is a natural attacking player, as we know, and we saw on social media he's a striker. He's actually listed as a defender. As things are getting heated now, and the push from Amaricha versus Eric Esso, one thing is for sure, you do not want to mess with those two.
Yes, who will keep their calm and composure in these moments? Because again, we are still pretty early in this matchup. 38 minutes, maybe a couple more until halftime, but still a draw. So as a player, you have to think about what's the best for the team, what will help the team win.
I just wanted to point out, actually, today wala pa tayong clean sheet. It was the 3-2 win for Maharlika over Tuloy, right? And then 2-1, a win for one Taguig over Cebu. Casambre missed it. Shielding from Melisa. Melisa did enough there to ensure that Talarok wouldn't get it. We are aware that Talarok will get the ball into dangerous spaces.
Something to expect from Talarok, and Melisa being there, his work rate, making sure that his job is done also, because as a winger, hindi ka lang nag-a-attack pero kailangan mo din bumaba, kailangan mo din mag-track back, at yun yung ginawa niya.
Yamazaki. Hancock, Amita. No one to support on that side though. And Nano and Casambre with the fall. And Casambre holding on to his ankle there. And Nano obviously concerned because he knows his former teammates very well.
That seemed like a painful fall, Claro. We did see Casambre really scream in pain, and very unfortunate, this collision.
Ready?
Let's see it again.
That's right. It's kind of blocked there, the angle of Coach Yu. But you and I saw it, of course, from our vantage point here at the side of the grandstand. Here's another angle, Cam. Both just going for the ball, that's for sure. I think Casambre sort of lost his footing.
It might have been contact from the heel, Claro, and
Heel, okay.
you are on the run like that, and the defender steps on the back of your heel, masakit nga siya. But he seems to be doing okay.
With Simone Rota being the Tito of the Kaya FC defenders. He did get up from his seat on the bench.
Yes, because being a center back, that's one of the more crucial. All positions are crucial, but they are the anchors of the team.
Rota, of course, looking out of concern, not looking to warm up initially, right, but checking on to ensure that Marco was okay. And now we see Rota warming up. Just like that. A tough stretch for Kaya players. Is that turf burn on the nape o yung patok dito kay Daniels? But at the end of the day, it is correct that KFC are playing this high-level game, an intense one, just about 6 days before their, or 5 days before their AFC matchup. Because if they're idle and just training, iba pa rin paglaro, di ba, Cam? A game like this, an official one.
Yes, iba talaga paglaro kasi pwede ka mag-train, but training gives you predictable situations to know what to do in those situations. Pero sa game, sobrang daming pwedeng mangyari. Kaya importante na nakapaghanda ka sa mga big games tulad ng sa Webes, sa Clark, no? May laro sila for their AFC Champions League.
We saw Talarok and the team's efforts got them this corner kick. Change corner kick taker daw.
So as we could see now, we see some tight marking from Kaya FC. There are few zonal players, but inevitably it is man marking inside the box for Kaya.
They're really up to something here if they really want Tomoki to take this in swinger. Here's the corner kick. And just like that, it is wide, but that looked very dangerous.
That was a good opportunity. I think it's from Bongolan too.
Yeah, Bongolan, yes. I'll have to take that sprint back now to organize on defense.
Good opportunity there for Aguilas to lead this game. And if they want to win games like this, they have to make the most out of opportunities like that.
Seemed like a quality one that they drew up, of course. Muntik na, as they say. About 2 minutes remaining until additional time in the first half. Still goalless again. Clara Manzano here alongside Cam Rodriguez to bring you the commentary. Thank you for joining us on the Facebook and YouTube pages of the Philippines Football League.
At tides have shifted a little bit here, Clara, where the attack has mostly been on Aguilas Umak FC. They have had the attack and the possession in the past maybe 5-10 minutes.
Kaya looked solid on offense earlier, but the Aguilas also looked solid on defense. And now, let's see if the Aguilas can utilize this opportunity on the attack. Because kita nga natin kanina, or we just saw previously, they did get that corner kick. They got the shot or the header, but off target. But still a connection of sorts. Confidence to build on. Reverse header from Eric Eso to get it to safety. Zambrano went back to Cartdo. Then headed here by Kuhn. Nano Amita.
Nano with a piece of skill there, being able to control the ball, trying to find and switch the attack to the right side to Yamamoto, but intercepted by Kaya FC.
Chrismel Kaya Biab confirmed. Our additional time, as you saw, 3 minutes as we saw, Cam. Yes.
Yes, sir.
And they have to kick it long here. There's defender Kaishu Yamazaki in action. And that needs getting used to.
Yeah, Aguilas Umak FC trying to capitalize on moments of counterattack. Trying to sniff a goal in right before halftime.
Zambrano, one of the new players. Tomoki took a fall. 2 players trying to go for Eric Eso. We know he's hard to beat. A chance to cross now. Not crossing, but they lay it off. My God. And Tomoki, there's the intention to build up from the back, but all Aguilas players down.
Great physicality there by Eric Eso to be able to be strong on the ball and lay that pass off to Shuto. Shuto always being on the other side of those passes and finding another teammate to shoot on goal.
High-level game here, a quality one. You could feel the intensity. Tandaan nga natin, first half pa lang to. May second half pa tayo. Offside is the call here. We don't see offsides against Kaya oftentimes, I will say, from my observations.
Being able to stay and be disciplined on that last line, you really do need that in order to not be called offside. So for those who aren't familiar with what the offside rule is, that's usually the rule that a lot of football newbies are trying to understand. Ano nga ba yung offside? Meaning lang doon, hindi mo pwedeng matanggap yung bola sa likod ng last man ng defender na kalaban mo. Kailangan sa ibabaw ka niya bago mo ma-receive, or sakto ka lang sa linya ng defense.
Football lessons with Coach Cam. Amita stepped on the brakes. Bungolan giving it to Cart. Can they keep it in? Eric S also charging at it.
A little too overplayed by Bongolan there. Cart trying to get that ball. If the ball was just spinning inward, baka nakuha niya pa. Pero medyo diretso yung pasa.
Yamazaki. Shuto. A switch here. One wing to the other. Tiano naman. There's the defensive header. Shuto tried to break free. Medyo traffic lang. Just like that, it's the halftime whistle. Kaya, we're just picking apart the defense there and testing the Aguilas. Goalless lang ngayon, Cam. What a game so far.
Yeah, definitely lots of physicality, lots of exciting moments. I would say, I think just towards the end, the last 5 to 10 minutes, Kaya FC was building momentum. Pero pa-halftime na tayo. And as a team, yun yung gusto mo. Right before the halftime, gusto mo maka-goal ka. But again, 0-0 to end the first half.
It's all up to Coach Yard pictured and to Coach Yu Hoshide, of course, for Kaya, the other side. Goalless sa ngayon, but we'll be back after the halftime break.
strong since the beginning of their game. Of course, it's not always good time, sometimes difficult time, but we always survive together. So our group as Kaya is really tight right now. So we want to win this game. Actually, we add some attacking phase players. So especially they are already always dynamic. So attacking phase, we are expecting more than last season.
If you don't do the things what you train on, and I think I'm long enough in football as a coach over the last 20 years here in Southeast Asia. It's excitement. I call the boys inside. I'm excited to see them play today. I'm excited to see them in the season, but there is no pressure. Pressure is something when you don't know what you want to do, if you don't have a clear plan. Over the last 2 months, we worked on a lot of things, and if we put the things in, then it's good, and if we don't put the things in, but we try hard enough and we give everything we have, then that's acceptable. So there's no pressure for us as coaches. There's no pressure for the boys as long as we give everything we have. It's a big club. I mean, like I said, I've been working in Asia for the last 20 years, and even when I was not in the Philippines, Kaya FC, it's a big club. They have a lot of tradition. They have been champions for 3 years. They always play on the international level. So it's a good opportunity for our coaching staff and for our players to measure ourselves with the best team currently, with the defending champion. So it's a good opportunity to show to everyone what kind of football we can play. But we know what we're up against, and I think it's important. We always respect our opponents. But we are here try to play our football, to believe in our football. But like I said, Kaya, it's a good team, experienced coaching staff. So it will be hopefully a good entertaining game. Look, it's very simple. From Monday to Friday, you can prepare as good as you can. And you prepare on what details and analysis you have about the opponents. What's actually happening on a Saturday at 8:30 p.m., nobody knows. And this is where we as coaches, sometimes we need to adapt. The players need to adapt on the field. They need to find potential solutions if there is anything what is unknown, like you mentioned. But that's the beauty in football. We don't know what's going to happen on a Saturday evening. Like I said, we can only prepare as well as what we know. And the things what we know about the analysis was 100% you never know what's going to happen in the game. But that's the interesting part, is it in football. So that makes it exciting.
back at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, and it is goalless at the moment between KFC Iloilo, the defending champs, and Aguilas Umak FC. Interesting interviews actually from our two coaches. Contrasting styles from Coach Yu Hoshide and Coach Jorg Steinbrunner on and off the pitch based on that interview, I will say. But let's focus on this game at the moment. Cam, here's the highlights for us to run through.
Yeah, so we saw a goalless half, but there was plenty of action between both teams. We saw at the first half that Kaya had a lot of the momentum, a lot of the possession. They were in control, but not necessarily having that bite in front. But they did show in the last 20 minutes of the half what they're capable of. They had clear chances on goal, just right here with Shuto Komaki being the main contributor of the 3 clear chances on the match, where he would be running on the ball and lay it off to his teammates. Just a bit unfortunate that it did not end up in a goal, but these are the positive moments that Kaya can take from this match. And then we see, of course, Aguilas Umak FC also being competitive. They had many moments where they had to battle it out, be defensive against the defending champions Kaya FC Iloilo. But when they did have chances to attack, that's where they showed up. They had at least 2 clear chances on goal. Just earlier, we saw from a corner kick where there was a header by the young Bongolan, and there were multiple times also where Yamamoto and Kum would link up in front, but there just needs to be a little bit more finesse and bite for both teams.
It's an even game so far as we speak. Here's the stats now. Anything that strikes you?
Yeah, I think just the number of shots on goal and on target by Kaya FC Iloilo just tells the story of this game, where they are on the front foot. But what is a challenge and an opportunity for them in the second half is maintaining that composure, that confidence to be able to finish. Because when you have as much success here, magiging impatient ka na parang, diba? Gusto mo nang sumut pero ayaw pumasok. So it's really just like being able to let those moments go and then start again and treat every opportunity and embrace it as much as you could. And of course, for Aguilas Umak FC, that they do have chances to the goal, but only 2 of them on target. So if they want to score against the defending champions, they have to be more clinical in front.
You have to be more clinical. As we know, of course, minsan, it's about using those chances, even if they are limited, right? Yeah. But let's see. First or second 45 minutes here between Kaya and Aguilas, and we cannot wait to get this one started. And I would like to see the changes that our coaches are going to make in that strategic battle. As we know, right? Our assistant referee is off to inspect the goal nets, and just excited.
Yeah, excited as well, Claro, because halftime usually is that reset that both teams need in order to, reflect on what happened in the first half, maybe possibly what wasn't working and what is working, and what can they build on. So for the likes of Aguilas Umak FC, it is the feistiness, the intent to go forward and counter-attack, and then the good things that Kaya FC can build on are those 3 to 4 clear chances on goal where they really had the upper hand. So being able to just finish those and be composed in those moments and get that goal in. Because sa mga games na to, Clara, pag head-to-head, minsan kailangan mo lang isa eh. Kailangan mo lang score, tapos naturally everything will follow. So let's see who will be drawing the first blood.
And whoever draws first blood, that could actually be the only difference maker here, right?
And I like what Coach Jorg said earlier on, where, Monday to Friday, pwede kang mag-prepare, pero nobody knows what's gonna happen on game day. And that's the beauty of football. So it's the ability to adapt and, have solutions for the moments that the game will gift you.
So Tomoki Fujihira. Yes, Fujihira is his last name. Subbed off. Bobakar Diallo was inserted. Also not a like-for-like change. Because Tomoki Fujihira is listed as a forward. Diallo is a defender. Possibly a shuffle of the lineups here. And then just like that, we can actually confirm now Charles Pickering indeed is playing center back. But it's Kaya once more. Defending champions in yellow and white. And my God, on the receiving end of that, Tumalsik. And Aguilas on the other hand in their blue and red.
Yeah, Menzi now taking this throw in. Will he go long or will he pass it?
Menzi and got beaten. Playing it long. Starting that race now. Coom.
Yamazaki doing enough to just disturb the run of Coom, as we know has been showing a lot of intent.
The strike though here had a lot of power, was low and clearly wide. But that was quite a ball from Yamamoto earlier to play that to Coom on the counter.
Yeah, definitely. They're going for that counter-attack moments.
You see here they almost score. Or not almost score, but get an opportunity.
Yes.
And not able to clean up the garbage properly. And that is why there's a counter. The attack stays for the Aguilas. Left-footed delivery. And Cortez get it. No problem here. Got to distribute it quickly. There was the intention to play it quick, but the discipline. Aguilas get into formation quickly.
Yeah, Kaya FC making sure that they keep possession. There are some moments where you think that they're going to play the ball long, but they choose to keep the ball. But of course, just as I said it, there was that long ball by Casambre.
Commentators curse, as they say. Palpalatok to Hancock. Cross. Stop. Palpalatok again. Not so sure about the intention there, I think.
That might have been a shot on goal, but just wasn't the kind of contact that he wanted.
Palpalatok again. Other than him, playing with Maharlika previously. Filipino who grew up in San Diego, California. A bit of the bump there. Not a bit of the bump.
Another player on the ground. I think it might be Diano.
Diano playing that right back position. That's why Noni Arboleda is warming up just in case.
Yeah, we see a Kaya FC player in Arboleda.
This is a tough balancing act, I will say, in the perspective of Kaya, given they have their AFC game already on Thursday. Because sabi nga natin kanina, we did say earlier, you want to have that game rhythm, right? At the same time, you also want to be rested. So will we see some early subs maybe to rotate players, distribute fatigue, you could say, or balance things out?
Yeah, player management is important, and you know, with a big game, an international game at that, in just 5 days, it's important to make sure that your players all are rested enough because and also are ready.
It's a balancing act. If you want to do well in the AFC competitions now, but remember, if you want to play in the AFC competitions next year, you have to win the league. Medyo mahirap yun.
Absolutely. I'm sure that Kaya FC would want to score and secure goals first before making changes, but inevitably that's up to the coach. And we see here Kaya FC trying, just a little bit overplayed there by Melissa Shuto, ready for that run, but a bit too sharp.
There were those triangles, promising build up, and then you could see the disbelief in himself when he referred to Jan Melisa because he was not able to get it to Shuto Komaki. He expected better from himself when he referred to the captain. Here's the ball. Oh! floats in! That's the opening goal here. In 5 minutes like that, Kaya FC get it. The defending champs officially take the driver's seat because they have the goal or a goal to show for it.
What an awesome piece of play there. A team effort, I would say, where Kaya FC shifted the ball from the left and then a running defender, Indiano, I believe, to chip the ball to the back, and Ott being on the other side of that. Shiraoka needed to stretch his hands out and do his best to stop that ball, but really well placed, well intended header from Maikon.
You could just see that ball floating in the air and looping.
Piece of quality there, Colaro.
Let's remember, tandaan nga natin, Maikon, not one of the tallest guys out there. Made up for it with his timing and his jumping ability.
And also that he was a free man. Walang nakamark sa kanya. Kaya yun yung quickly Aguilas has to learn from.
Just like that, Kaya wanted to pounce again.
Yeah, build on the momentum as we say. Lalo na pag nakascore ka, may high ka eh. Na, okay, score tayo ulit. Let's score again. But of course, Aguilas not wanting to do that and trying their best to have an opportunity themselves.
That's why there was a counter-attack that was stopped. Cart couldn't get to it. Diano sent it to the side to delay the attack, but the ball still in the danger area. Hancock playing it back. The Aussie. Amoricha. Charles Pickering. Filipino Kiwi, but did grow up here in the Philippines. And now it's offside here. Are they rushing this because they want to get back on track immediately?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of impatience there from the striker in Guam, where he is making those forward runs, but at the same time, he is up against experienced defenders in Yamazaki and Casambres, so he would need to time those runs better. Kasi kung hindi, ma-offside siya, and multiple times he has been caught offside. So quickly, I feel he needs to balance that intent of wanting to attack, but also being smart and holding his run just a tad more.
Cortez sending it forward. And Cheer Daniels. And people might be wondering, bakit hinahabol ni Shuto Kumako yung bola? Siya yung outside. The ball was still in play, of course. He tried to go around.
Coaching lessons by Coach Claro. That's an important thing to take note of. Kasi minsan,
hindi naman coaching lessons, more of how to chase the ball. How to chase the ball. That's it.
chasing lessons. But
Hustle. Can't teach hustle. Actually, I think you can sometimes. You would know that, Cam.
all about attitude, Claro. And a lot shown here tonight. I mean, just less than 10 minutes and we already have Kaya FC on the front foot for this game. And as we said earlier, parang commentator's blessing. Sabi ko, sino kayang mauuna? Baka siya yung makakaroon ng momentum.
It's off of Daniels. Hancock trying to take control of the game. Zambrano. Behind that attack, of course, you need stability in the midfield. And that's what Brandon Zambrano has brought here to Kaya, the team in yellow. Pickering cleared it. Collision. No interest there from Militon Pelayo. Amita now. You see that sense of urgency. Challenge from behind. Eric Esso just read that well.
Esso with the power and the challenge, but a foul just committed right now.
Let's remember, this goal tonight is the 13th goal of Kaya this season, given they beat Army 12-0 last time around.
Yeah, they would be keen to attack, get those goals, secure this win, possibly as early as possible.
Tandaan nga natin, may mga laro tayo bukas dito sa Rizal Memorial Stadium. Valenzuela PB Menjola versus Army FC. And there will be Stallion Laguna and Manila Tigre squaring off.
So for those who are watching online right now, you might consider watching live here and show support for our teams in the PFL.
Sigurado ako bitin yung mga tao ngayon kahit triple header. So to do that, dito tayo sa Rizal Memorial Stadium to catch the games live.
Yes, it's always different watching the games live. You could actually hear what players are saying, the emotion that's being shown.
But let's remember, of course, people cannot make it tomorrow due to personal reasons. Okay lang, exempted kayo kasi may live stream available on the Facebook and YouTube pages of the Philippines Football League. So do make sure to follow us once more. Hit the like too while you are at it.
The game just paused a little bit now because the ball needs to be changed. I think the previous one was a little bit deflated, and it's important to have well-flated balls.
There you go. Status quo. Play carried on from where we stopped. That was a drop ball. And you see now the game has just slowed down to the advantage of Kaya. Things getting busy in the corner. It's mission accomplished for Hancock and the defense of Aguilas. I'd like to think Mike Ott came close to winning them a corner kick.
He would be happy there because, again, he did score the first goal of this match, and that was from a free header. And usually when you have corner kicks, you could utilize those moments too.
It's given away here. An unideal area because it's in the midfield, and it led to that. The yellow is out for Meliton Pelayo. And it goes to Charles Pickering.
A painful collision now as Shuto Komaki on the ground clutching his foot, and there was clear contact there, Claro. So let's see this again. He was trying to go for a clip behind his foot, but Pickering already committed.
Interesting. I saw the shirt pull, but I believe it is a good intention to slow down the fall.
We always like that benefit of doubt. But again, is it a timely collision? Maybe. You know, it was an attack forming, and you wouldn't want a player like Shuto Komaki on the end of an attack like that, where it could have possibly been a goal-scoring opportunity for the striker.
With that, though, Kaya and this free kick in a delightful area.
Yeah, definitely they are going to make the most out of it. And we see here a couple of the Kaya players warming up in Rota, Bugas also there, newly signed to Kaya, Arboleda, Bedic, getting ready because substitutions seem to be in order.
A number of subs also warming up on the other end for Aguilas Umak FC. Well, here's Coombe, the man playing up front again, but he dropped down because he is a natural center mid. Daniels and Melisa here ready. Pick your poison. Shoots, but we saw this was high from the initial impact of the ball, or the hit of the ball.
There was a bit of spin there, so I believe that Daniels was targeting the far side of Shirooka's goal.
And Pickering looking for options. Hancock playing it wide. They're being patient now. Seems like they put Hancock at the back, and then Pickering sliding to full back. Yamamoto, who got beaten by Mike Ott. Let's remember, Mike Ott is also the Golden Ball winner in the PFL back in the day. Shiraoka For those who missed what we said, Shiraoka, teammates with Kenji Nishoka of Manila Digger back in the day in Japan. I believe it's at the high school level. Here's the fall, seemed to be on his own. Eso had time. Headed well by Amaricha. That's his duty. Boom. Counter-attack time now with Yamamoto bringing it. And what a slide. And yes, this was defender Kaishu Yamazaki.
Yamazaki trying to go and beat the defender down the line. The intent there was really to go forward, and he did a good job there. Again, from this slide, ball still in play. Intent to go forward, beating the defender. The defender, both hands pulling him down. A clear foul. Clara, anything to do, anything that you need to do para matigil yung defender, kailangan mong gawin.
In comes Paulo Bugas, and out is Shuto Komaki. So now it is Paulo Bugas playing against his former club. And sasabihin ko lang, Yamazaki after the fall went up to Palpalato. I'm not sure kung galit siya bigla. But after, I'd like to think they just checked if they were okay. Palpalato got a yellow. My God, not ideal from him there. Zambrano versus Nano. Eric Casso doing his thing, delaying the free kick, right? Just to stop any quick plays.
Yes, that was a smart move by Eso, because kung wala siya doon, baka makapag-quick attack ang Aguilas Umak FC. But because he was there, it forced to slow down that would have otherwise been a fast moment.
The ball was too wayward from Pickering and returns possession to Kaya. Less than 30 minutes remaining until additional time. So a lot of football to play.
Curious to see Bugas in action. He is on the left wing, and he is a player that's been tricky. Also a product of the FEU program.
And we see that the Aguilas bench is furious because they felt that play was not offside. But our linesman here said it was offside.
Just high emotions. You could just see what this game means to Aguilas Umak FC.
And from what I saw real time, Coach Jorg was not the coach standing up in frustration. It was a member of his staff. Coach York has a yellow already. He is aware of that, of course, and is being careful.
You see here just the support that the Aguilas Umak community has for the team, and they would be watching how their team would be.
Richard Talarok enters. And Brian Palpalatok will step off because he has a yellow. There's that change, of course. They do not want to risk it.
Yes, because if he does get a second yellow in this match, that would result to a red card, meaning he would be needed to be taken out of this game and would not be able to play in the next game. So it is a smart coaching decision here for Coach York.
After all, it's a 1-0 game.
Still pretty close, Lara.
A Kaya goal gives them a cushion, virtually seals it. An Aguilas goal would be massive and will reopen the game, you could say. And the looping ball from Hancock, I'm not so sure if that was the intention. But it is still with them, though. Interesting. Off-camera, Shiraoka is well out of his goalkeeper box and is in the midfield.
Yeah.
Here's the cross. Nobody to meet it, though. First touches of the game for Richard Talarok. In the middle now, having to drift. Definitely out in the bout here for Coombe.
Coombe trying his best, being in a good position actually in between Yamazaki and the wingback. receives the ball on his far foot, but still very much far from the center of the goal. So he tried his best, and that's what you need to be. That's what you need to do as a striker, especially as you're trying to equalize and get that goal to level the game.
Mike Ott, the lone goal scorer again here so far in this matchup. Will that be enough? Time will tell.
So lots of emotions now there. Aguilas Umak not happy with the ball being given to Kaya FC. So again, high emotions. The challenge now for players is to maintain and regulate their emotions to be able to still perform. And really, it is the most composed players and composed teams that will win this game.
What is the call here? Seems like that was a foul. No, not a foul. I am seeing a signal for throw in. This needs getting used to also. Paulo Bugas playing for Kaya.
Yes, Paulo Bugas recently new signing of Kaya FC to bolster the squad. He does replace Komaki on the side, meaning his strength of running through spaces, beating defenders is needed here.
We know Paulo Bugas has his following online with Team Pab.
Mga Team Pab.
Actually, miyembro ako ng Team Pab.
Really, he's doing his best, not just on the field, but off the field, growing the love for the game too, because he is Team Pab.
Actually,
he is Paulo Bugas.
Mga bata may tanong and they would ask him and he would address them, of course, with his experience. Since he is also a coach with his former high school. Let's see now. They're going to cycle this.
Kaya being patient with the ball, trying to shift Aguilas from left to right, trying to see where the spaces will be, what pockets will form.
No press here. They're settling down in the midfield. Midfield, when we refer to the Aguilas. Daniels was going wide to give that option. As a result, Bugas went in. Sambre.
Kaya trying, doing their best to shift, trying to catch vulnerabilities that may open up from Aguilas Umak.
Other than Kaya's AFC game next week, let's remember the men's national football team will play 2 games against Timor-Leste as part of the qualifiers for the Asian Cup in the men's football competitions. And in December, the Southeast Asian Games, the Filipinas and the U22 men's national team will get to compete.
And to add, of course, we have our first ever FIFA Futsal World Cup happening here, November 21 to December 7. Our Philippine futsal national team competing with and against the best in the world. So everyone, lots of football action coming up. Burmans, nakaka-excite, kaya pakita tayo, show up tayo, manood tayo at supportahan natin lahat ng national teams natin at players natin. And hopefully, isingit ko na rin ang Women's Cup natin. Ang Filipino footballers natin. Magsuportahan tayo. Because it's all for the love of the football game.
Richard Talaro got to beat Paulo Bugas. It's now with Amaricha. Joven Beric heading his way now to the Kaya bench after warming up. We could expect to see him in a bit. Having a word with Coach Bing. Hancock. It's really added a creativity now for them in this midfield, especially with a sense of urgency.
Yeah, he's been on the starting point of those long passes. So he is the one distributing, trying to create, trying to switch points of attack, which you do need in football because, you know, for a team like Kaya FC, they would be more organized. And that would mean to work, Aguilas would need to work a little bit harder to shift and find those vulnerabilities and pockets within Kaya's formation.
And I just wanted to go back with the Women's Futsal World Cup. There is actually the draw. It's on Monday. Malapit na.
Yes, so in the same pot as the world champions and the world number 2, 3, 4 is Philippines, up against in the other pots of the other competing teams. And we have the likes of countries from Southeast Asia, South America, Europe. Really so exciting time for football in the country.
Maricha. And with that also, let's remember Stallion Laguna, after their successful campaign in the Women's Champions League preliminary stage, they are going to play now in the group stage proper, bali nag-advance sila.
Yes. So talaga, ang daming football. So if you're not, or you're just catching the tail end of this match, there's still so much more. Meron pa bukas, meron pa next week. And Burmans really is loaded with football action. So keep supporting our players and let's keep growing this game.
Now the physicality has come.
I think it has died down a little bit. I think earlier in this half, there were lots of high emotions, which is natural, especially after leading.
I saw the pull of the shirt on Kaishu Yamazaki. You see the intent to attack. They're putting Nawala Maricha, who's a center back, sa attack.
Yes, football is a numbers game that you'd want as many advantages as you'd want. So again, we talk about versatility in players. So we see him there being in opportunities for attack, but just this moment, foul committed against number 5, Amaricia.
Not too many free kicks, come to think of it, for the Aguilas. They did get a corner earlier.
This is also a pretty good spot, relatively closer to the goal compared to all the other free kicks this match.
Is it going to be a delivery or a shot? We'll let the players answer it. Here's a run on the far side, interesting, or the near side. Still not out of the clear. And then it's a corner. The pressure stays on. That numbers game that you were talking about is paving way to these chances for Aguilas Umak FC.
Let's remember, at the start in the first half, they did have an opportunity on goal, Aguilas Umak, where it was Bongolan who was on the end of that corner kick. So let's see what opportunities and attacks they come up with.
Here comes the corner, going for the back post. Both sides saying it is our ball. Pag ganun kanina ba na, we're aware, of course, players are trying to get to the head of the referee. But it's a corner kick, but this time on the other side. The pressure mounts bit by bit. It's similar to the first half. They're going with their designated corner kick taker. Not a... Oh, there you go. Now it's an out swinger. It's inside. The shot! It is wide though.
A great opportunity there by Aguilas Umak FC by number 4, Talarok. Again, Richard Talarok having that opportunity from this free kick, corner kick rather. A one-time shot to the goal, just far off the goal, but I would be happy if I was Coach York, because these are sort of signal bells to the Kaya FC defense na hindi pa tapos yung laban, 1-0 pa lang, and like what you said earlier, a goal for Aguilas Umak could really spell the difference for how this match will turn out.
Actually, parang na-stress ako kasi nakita ko si Coach York hands on his head but it didn't go in.
Ako din naka-hands on my head din ako.
Standards. After all, about 15 minutes and change remaining until additional time. And Joven Bidik is in, a club legend, a PFL legend too, you could say, in his right. Eric Kessel calling it a day. So now the question is, who will take the place of Eric Kessel? It is possible, and we can see it's not essentially Joven Bidik. They have shifted Paulo Bugas to center midfield.
Bugas showing his versatility there. He does play in the center a lot, so his movement and shiftiness could really be a strength here for Kaya.
Casambre Kita natin nga, alanganin yung pasa dito kay Kenshiro Daniels. In situations like these, how do you stay calm?
Great question. I think it really is about being present, taking each moment as it goes. On the technical side, scanning, it always helps to know what your surroundings are, especially if you're the one who is more or less going to have the ball kasi mag-feel mo yun as a player.
Veteran moves from Jolvin Bedic.
Eventually winning a free kick for Kaya, and this is still a pretty good opportunity for them. Free kick on the left side of the pitch. You could see the Kaya FC players lining up on the opposite side, so I can imagine a looping ball right behind the defense of Aguilas Umak.
It'll be from the left. Melissa often delivers when it's big. Flag is up on the other end though, as it was cleared off by Jab Bongolan.
That was good delivery by Melissa. Again, a looping ball with weight. That's the kind of ball that you would want to be on the other end of. Just a little bit unfortunate it was called offside, but you know, this is a good moment to build on for Kaya.
Amita thought about it. They want those extra options now. With what you said, and bring up Amaricha, they're doing that with their goalkeeper, but here's give it away now. Release the space, no angle though. Amita secures. And you get it to Talarok. Wide to Yamamoto. Richard bringing that energy through the middle. Playing it now. Boom. It's outside. It still stays here with the Aguilas. Talarok bringing that energy to them.
Energy indeed. You could see his urgency there. Getting the ball, playing it.
Hancock's header. There's a whistle because there was a foul. In theory, that was on target. Pero nauna yung pito.
I wonder if they count that in stats.
I believe no, since the whistle came first.
Right. So let's see that again. A ball into the goal box by Amita, and then Amaricha on the other end of it. But he did extend his hands right before that, so it is a foul against Aguilas Umak FC.
Cortez taking his sweet time.
And just 15 minutes left in this matchup. Kaya FC still needs to be careful, still needs to have an eye towards the clock, but you know, they do have the upper hand here, and you know, they need to manage the urgency that Aguilas Umak FC has been showing.
I'm curious also, what's going well for the two teams here and what can be improved?
Yeah, what's going well for Kaya FC Iloilo is there's more harmony now in terms of how they shift the ball, how they move the ball, what can be done. Really just continuing to attack, and then for Aguilas Umak, you know, what they have been doing well is showing intent, showing that drive to equalize. What isn't really going well for them is that it is a bit rushed. That minsan nagmamadali sila, kaya hindi nagpa-pan out yung gusto nilang mangyari. And in moments like this, it only takes one. So if they're able to just be composed in the right moments, maybe they could have that equalizer that they've been working hard for.
Yamazaki.
That's a great ball from Yamazaki.
Playmaking center back confirmed.
And also the touch of Melissa there to keep the ball in, receive that ball.
Counter-attack time now thanks to that stop for the Aguilas as a team. Quick throw into Amita. Numbers clamping down on him though. Offside just like that.
Again, that pesky offside that Kum still needs to adjust to.
Rushing things because they are obviously chasing the game. Nagmamadali kasi kailangan na umiscore.
Oh, balance talaga yun. But being able to have that urgency but still being composed in the right moments. And I think this takes a team effort too. So kung pwedeng mag-remind sila sa isa't isa na, okay, kalma tayo. And it really just needs a good moment like that.
There are showers now right here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium in Manila. Pickering yet to come in again as an emergency sub.
Doing well, holding the defense of Aguilas Umak FC. Pickering.
This ball though is returned to Kaya. They're going to spread the opposing defense. Cortez, we're aware that he is good with his feet also.
Yeah, Cortez has that ability to distribute, play out the back, and these are skills that you would want to see in goalkeepers.
It ping-pongs around. Bukas got it wide. Mycott thought about making a run, but received it here in front of the back line. Kenchiro Daniels. It's gotten a bit quiet here. The shot, though, is sailing wide.
Kenchiro Daniels trying, working very hard to get into that position. His teammate Mike Ott being in that pocket to be able to give the ball to Daniels. Again, it is a good shot, just a bit far on top of the goal, but you know, he backed himself in that moment, and I think he should be proud of that.
Amaricha now storming as a center back. What's the call here? Kaya throw in, so it is off an Aguilas player. Zambrano having to track back. 1-2 though. The numbers favor Kaya. This ball is already outside.
So we see some words being exchanged, some decisions being questioned. But the final call here is that it is a goal kick, and we see Cortez handling the ball.
Is it that slow burn here for the Aguilas trying to catch up, but will come out unsuccessful? Or is it going to be, you say, a Kaya masterclass? Well, let's recall again, Kaya only won the title by a point. Manila Digger were just below them in the standings. Richard Talarok.
That's a good decision made by Talarok. He had an opportunity in front, thought about it, but decided the best solution, which was to find his teammate there on the side trailing up.
So Bongolan could not get past the defense. And there's the eventual whistle. Paulo Bukas a bit that shrug, showing he wasn't happy with the physicality there. That's why it's a foul that will go his favor. This is the third game again dito po sa ating triple header. The first game, Maharlika did defeat Tuloy 3-2. The second game was a close one. Taguig taking that result over Cebu. Kaya just clamping down Yamamoto there.
As we're seeing a little bit more possession and possession to attack by Aguilas Umak FC, trying to shift Kaya. Lots of yellow shirts behind the ball there.
Here's this ball though. Cortez read it well. And just to recap or wrap up the results from earlier, right? A 2-1 win for Taguig over Cebu. And then it's this one now. Mycott again, the lone goal scorer. It was a looping header that allowed him to take a 1-0 lead about 6 minutes into the second half. After that, it's been Kaya controlling. Aguilas trying to push things, of course. Things haven't gone their way. Tandaan nga natin bukas, we have our double header dito po sa Rizal Memorial Stadium, the same venue. It is going to be Army and Valenzuela PB Mendiola. Those teams are out to bounce back after getting a tough opening day. then we will have Stallion Laguna and Manila Digger. That was a heated match actually for them last time around at the end of the season, more or less.
Yeah, both of those teams are really known for their aggressiveness. So competing against each other, those are expected moments from both those teams. And what's interesting here is that every team really has a different style of play, and now we're learning what kind of play Aguilas Umak FC is showing. Again, they are a new team here. It's their first game in the league, and so far they look to be a team that quickly switches the ball from right to left, that they pounce on counter-attack moments. They have some speedy players, some pace in their players, physicality too, and I think also the ability to distribute long-range balls.
German style of play Coach Jorg brings in, and with Coach Yu Hoshide, that established Japanese system as we know.
Yeah, and you see that in the Kaya FC style of play. They're keeping the ball, they are moving, supporting each other, making sure to really hold possession and be smart about how they play the ball.
Both teams have put up I'd like to say, not a clinic, but a nice convincing way on how they execute their respective styles. There's the Korean influence in the Maharlika team, right, with their coach.
And another player down here, I think that is
That's Joven Bedik.
A collision there, I think, with a foot from one of the Aguilas Umak FC players. And some words being exchanged now. Let's see this again.
Let the images or the video do the talking. I saw a bit of a pushing, a bit between Maricha and Maikot.
It's never easy seeing your teammate be on the receiving end of physicality, whether that be Kaya or Aguilas Umak.
Bongolan will step off. In comes Diego Aspiras. And Aspiras, let's clarify or check if he'll be inserted to the center, and then who will fill in at fullback for Bongolan. Aspiras did have a stint with the youth national team, also played a bit in Spain for a while. Before that youth national team stint, he was with Manila Digger.
And I believe he's not new to the PFL too. He's had some minutes with one of the teams before all of that action. And it's nice to see him back here. You know, it's always nice to see young Filipino footballers competing against older, experienced players. And that doesn't discount his capability. It's just nice to see the challenge that arises from this competitiveness between players.
Safe to say he had a lot of exposure with Digger and also the youth national team, of course. And then he got to raise his game by playing overseas in Spain for a few months. An interesting bit though. Diego Aspiras went up the Kaya FC Academy ranks also. He joins the likes of Nathan Bata, was on the bench with Kaya, right? He's worked his way up the ranks. It's also Julian Romero, not with Kaya anymore, but I'm aware that he transferred to Maharlika.
Yes, and that's what we would want to see, right? Players going through academy systems, having pathways to be able to succeed as Filipino footballers.
This one was awkward from Yamazaki. He gifted it wide to the wing, to his compatriot Yamamoto. Here's the cross, defensive header to get it to the side. Bugas played it quickly now to the wing and receives it once more from Melisa. Just like that, they slow it down.
From what we can see here, Aspiras being an attacking player, adding to that, but Kaya now trying to form an attack here and inevitably goes for a throw-in.
They got to split the defense. But rather than make it a goal kick, Kanchiram Daniels made it a throw-in from deep. That's a big difference.
Yeah, it is definitely, especially during these moments of the match where, again, full of experience, full of exciting moments. 1-0, end of the match. 6 more minutes to go, so it's all about being smart for Kaya, managing the game well, managing emotions well to be able to hold off till the end, and for Umak to be able to really try their best, work hard, and capitalize on any moment that they have.
6 minutes of additional time. That is an eternity if you were Kaya. They want to end this as soon as possible. If they're Aguilas, they want all the time in the world. But there was this shot. We saw it was wide here. And that was from Paolo Bugas. Shirooka wants to get this going immediately. And Amita, there is the late whistle. Joven almost had him. He resumed it too quickly there. They had to stop the ball to just take, or they had to stop that ball before playing the free kick. Aspiras. He will add playmaking for them here in this desperate time. Given the circumstances, the Aguilas will at least take a draw. And I will say, Cam, bagging a draw against Kaya, that will be massive to whoever does it.
It will, because Kaya is the defending champion and they are the team to beat for this league.
They had a winning streak actually in local play of about 42 plus games. I cannot recall the exact figure, but I was tracking it. That streak was ended by Manila Digger in the last PFL season.
Just showing the competitiveness also of this league and how, it is a challenge to be on the top, because you will be watched, you will be scrutinized, you will be studied. And also, for any competitor, any competitive team, you'd want to really challenge the defending champions. A lot on the line here for defending champions, but also for Aguilas Umak, because of what you said, a draw will be massive for them.
And Jan Meliza, the captain, is going to step off for Martini Ray. Martini Ray, add him to that long list of FEU Tamaraos.
Yeah, it would be interesting to count how many FEU Tamaraos on the pitch right now. I'd say there's about 6 to 7 from both teams.
Add Martini Ray also to that long list of kababayans of Joven Bidik, essentially players from Barotac Nuevo Iloilo.
Yes, proud products of Barotac. Really a hub for football, a lot of our talent from there.
There was a shot there. Plenty of touches inside the box. You like that if you are the Aguilas, because you're putting the ball in a dangerous area. Too close for comfort if you're Kaya FC.
Yeah, again, time on the clock, 94 minutes. 2 more minutes to go, and Aguilas FC just showing just the intent and a little bit of desperation to get that equalizer.
Martini tried to get that one. Aspira stayed solid. Long ball now. There's Hancock down. Richard got to shoot off of Mike God from the looks of it. Here was a fall. And that was enough to convince referee Meliton Pelayo. It's a free kick.
That's a huge opportunity for Aguilas Umak FC. A free kick in the center, right outside the goalkeeping box. Again, let's see it here.
Might have been the previous play. No, not. This was the one. This was the one.
That might be it, where I guess just some physicality shown there by Zambrano.
You see the anticipation, the uncertainty there. That's the Aguilas bench.
Eagerly awaiting again. This might be their last chance on goal.
The
Aguilas Umak FC.
best way to describe it, right? Kakapraning. If you're either team. One defending, one desperate to score.
Again, 1-0 lang.
1-0 lang. But
Ito yung kagandahan talaga ng football.
1-0 lang, but what a fight here in the midfield, right? Both teams trying to outduel one another.
Absolutely.
And it is Yamamoto stepping up here. There is also Amita. Taken! We saw that was high already. That's gotta hurt. body language doing the talking.
Yamamoto has been the go-to person for all their set pieces. You know, he could kick with his right, with his left, and understandably why he was given that opportunity to take that shot on goal at this moment of the game.
Cortez also doing his part to control the game. Got it wide. Off the head of Kenshiro Daniels. That's why it is a throw in here. Pickering. Amita. They're playing with fire here. It's with Martini now! Home run. And you do not want that, of course, if you are Kaya.
Martini Ray with the quality minutes. Really just 3 minutes in and has a great opportunity on goal. It did go wide, but, you know, great nonetheless for him.
Hancock across. His presence in the midfield has helped keep Aguilas in the game. Now it's onto the left. Yamamoto, he wants to make amends for that earlier. Well, a superb clearance there. And Aspira's getting clipped. Free kick again. I cannot remember.
I'm speechless,
No, I was going to say I cannot remember the last time Kaya's defense has gotten stretched like this in the PFL. But my memory, of course, Manila Digger also pushed them. As Kaya last season drew Manila Digger and lost one game, but that draw was in the end of the season and was enough to pretty much hold on for the title. Aspira celebrating as if he scored.
Yeah.
It's half the job done, I'd like to think, when you win a free kick. Tas ganito kalapit.
Definitely.
It's Amita again. The captain. He did say he likes to lead by example. A perfect moment. Nano. Just absorbed by the wall, but also rattled around. That was the last kick of the game. Just like that. 1-0 for KFC, the defending champs, over the rebooted, retooled Aguilas Umak. I'd like to think they pushed the defending champions here. What a game on Mike Ott's header. Enough. As the score ends 1-0. I'm speechless, Cam.
I am too. Thank you for taking the lead because, yes, Kaya FC was pushed till the end. And like what Coach York said, right? You could prepare, you could have a game plan, but nobody really knows what happens on game day. And in the last 6 minutes of the match, you could really see the momentum shift to Aguilas Umak FC. They were on the front foot, the urgency, the intent to just go for it and try and equalize was there, and I feel like that was what really pushed Kaya in those last minutes. So maybe a lesson for the team would be, how do we manage, especially when we're in the lead in those last 6 minutes, right? And really a great match, a show of action between both teams. Kaya showing their prowess, their strength, their ability to stay composed and be clinical in the right moment with Mike Ott. And these are really positives that they can take away for their upcoming match this Wednesday, but also in the coming games in the PFL. So lots to learn. Good to see quality minutes from different sets of players here for Kaya FC. And then for Aguilas Umak FC, that the positives here really is that drive, that laban till the end, to show and compete, right? And could there be more work to be done, especially in marking? Just as this, we saw Mike Ott with the lone goal where he was unmarked, and that was from being stretched from the left side, ball shifted to the other side. So really, so much action.
Top corner finish right there. Kudos to both teams, of course. And there was that shot also we saw earlier on the ground. Miggy Colorino would have been different maybe if he was able to continue the game, but highlights here to keep us company. That was the lone goal, but was action lacking after that lone goal? Absolutely no.
It seemed like it was just an uphill increase of action shown by both teams after the goal is scored, and that's what you can expect when it's a matchup like this where lots of physicality has been shown, emotions have been shown, and really just the desire to win, and nothing lacked in that department. Both teams wanted to win. It was just a matter of who was able to execute their game plan, their plays well, and that was Kaya FC Iloilo tonight.
After all, the champions of the last 3 seasons, they're gunning for their 4th one. But let's remember, this is a long season. It is just the beginning, and this Aguilas squad just pushed them to the limit. But it ends 1-0 right here, courtesy of Mike Ott. But we will sign off from this game alongside Cam Rodriguez. This was Caro Manzano on call for this game. We'll say goodbye, but we will take it to the pitch in a bit as we are going to have our post-match interview.
Hello, Mike.
Hello.
I have a few questions. What were some struggles you had during today's game?
No, the team is good. Every opponent is tough. You need to respect every team, and we had a game plan. Today was not the best game of ours, but we have a lot to improve. But important, we got the 3 points.
Thank you. Another question, and probably the last for now. Can you tell us a memorable moment from this game and walk us through your thoughts during that play?
Oh, memorable. It's my header, of course. No, it's good to score and help the team, and yeah, that's what they did today, and I'm very happy for that. Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you.